Live from our studios here at Northridge in Accra, good evening and welcome to Newsnight on Metro TV. We're also live on DSTV channel 277 and on Facebook at Metro News. I'm Kenneth Jesse.
And I am Efia Fosua, coming up in the next 60 minutes.
Should we go?
The health crisis looms in Ewusiejo in the western region as residents drink contaminated water from the Butcher River. We'll hear from an environmentalist.
New wave of excitement greets Fix the Country protesters as Supreme Court quashes High Court injunction on their intended protest, but they may still face some hurdles as they try to embark on a demonstration. Private legal practitioner Justice Abdullahi will join us for some analysis.
A later in business, consumer survey by the IEA reveals Ghana's economic situation has worsened in the past 6 months. We'll bring you staggering statistics from the report.
In sports, we will be bringing you update from the Ghana versus Morocco international friendly match from Rabat.
And later on the international front, French President Emmanuel Macron slapped in the face during a walkabout in southern France, an incident which his Prime Minister denounced as an affront to democracy. We've got details of these stories and many more coming up in the next hour. Please stay. You're welcome once again, and now to the first story. The Supreme Court has quashed an order by an Accra High Court which barred the Fix the Country protesters from embarking on a street protest until the ban on public gathering is lifted. Lawyers of the social media movement filed an application praying the Apex Court set aside the court order preventing them from demonstrating and ordering the Ghana Police Service not to interfere in the intended demonstration. In delivering its ruling, Justice Yao said the order by the High Court judge was in error, adding that the Supreme Court can't stop the police from doing its work. Metro News' Henry Kwesibadu was in court today and brings you more in this report.
In restraining the protesters, the High Court stated that they are not to hit the streets until such time that the appropriate authority lifts the COVID-19 restrictions on public gathering. The campaigners insist this order is unlawful as under the High Court rules, injunctions granted without argument by the affected persons ought to last for just 10 days. Lawyers for the campaigners, led by Justice Ramsay, on Tuesday urged the Supreme Court to speak on the matter. He insisted the order speaks for itself and restrains his client indefinitely. The Attorney General, however, disagreed. He described the case filed by the campaigners as misconceived and completely unwarranted. He explained that under the High Court rules, ex-party orders are to last for 10 days. He added that by the operations of the law, the order granted on May 6 stopping the May 9 protest has since elapsed. He therefore urged the court to dismiss the case since no order is enforced currently barring the protest. The Attorney General, however, added that even before the expiration of the order, a fresh application for injunction has been made by the Inspector General of Police, knowing well that the May 6 order was to last just 10 days. The court in its ruling noted that the rules of the High Court allows the ex-party injunction to last only 10 days. It has said the judge erred. The court therefore proceeded to wish that portions of the order that bar the group indefinitely be quashed. In the same ruling, the court said it cannot stop the Ghana Police Service from doing its work. As it stands now, there is no court order barring the Fix the Country protesters from embarking on a street protest. Despite this victory, there is a notice that was served them by the Ghana Police Service, which is expected to be heard at an Accra High Court on June 14, 2021. Legal argument from lawyers of the state and also the Fix the Country protesters will be heard on that day to determine whether or not they will be given the opportunity to embark on the said protest. Reporting for Metro News, I am Henry Kwesi Bedu.
The hashtag Fix the Country reappeared in the trends on social media. Here are some tweets of the campaigners. So the first one says, last time at the court, I was afraid that the ruling would go against us. Fix the country, but the ladies' and lawyers' braveness brought me to life. The police assault at the court, I nearly lost hope, but today we have won. We're hitting the streets now. This one also says, the 700 cities warriors have started shaking Fix the Country, have won the court case. Demonstration is about to happen soon. Thumbs up to Kali J and Ifya Odo. This one is also from Ifya Odo. She says, the Supreme Court has nullified the injunction. We can now set a date and finally protest peacefully for Fix the Country. Patience is indeed a virtue. Fix the Country is back on the trends. Heat Noba. This one is also from Mackenzie. It says, the masses won. The revolution will be televised. Fix the country. Now we're joined on the phone by one of the conveners of the Fix the Country campaigns, Benjamin Darko, for more on this. Good evening, Benjamin. Now, what does the verdict of the Supreme Court mean for yourself and other protesters? Hello, Benjamin. Benjamin. We're joined by private legal practitioner Justice Abdullahi for more on this. Justice, good evening and welcome to Newsnight.
Can you hear me?
Justice Abdullahi, good evening and welcome to Newsnight.
Yes, can you hear me, please? Good evening,
so
I can hear you.
What does the ruling of the Supreme Court mean for the campaigners, and does that mean that they can go ahead with their protests?
Well, as to whether it means they can go ahead with their protests, in fact, indeed, this is a positive news, in fact, for all of us, not just the campaigners. I think the Supreme Court has indeed expanded on the law, the understanding of the law, because I did not understand the basis for the indefinite nature of the injunction granted by the High Court. And so the Supreme Court, because we all know that indeed the law on ex parte applications is such that it can only last for 10 days. But for a court to give an indefinite injunction was a bit problematic. And so to that extent, the decision is very positive, is forward-looking, and it has indeed set the record straight on this issue because just few months earlier, the High Court, in another application, had given a completely contrary position on this same subject matter as to whether the police can obtain an order ex parte to stop people from protesting. And that was a decision made by Justice Dennis. And that was one of the fantastic decisions. It looked into human rights issues generally, particularly in reference to protests and other things. And so, but unfortunately, another High Court gave this contrary decision. And so clearly there were this bit of conflict here and there. And I think this Supreme Court decision has set the record straight on this area. And so going forward, we may not have these clandestine or ex parte or backdoor approach by the police to stop people from protesting. Now it has to be on notice, first of all. And second, even if they are unable to go on notice, we all know that they cannot, the police cannot obtain more than 10 days of any injunction that they would they seek to get, if they will get it in the first place. So to that extent, it is indeed positive. However, as to your question as to whether or not they can proceed with the protest, it's a question that I am unable to give a firm answer to, because I'm aware that next week they are going back to court, to the High Court. And I do not know what exists presently at the High Court that is being contested. I'm assuming that may be the substantive suit itself. If that is the case, then it means that the case itself is not yet over, and maybe the rights and the privileges of the parties involved are to be determined. I'm assuming that until that determination is made, everything would have to be held on hold. Notwithstanding the fact that the Supreme Court has given a decision which paves the way for the demonstration to happen.
All right, Council, this is if I may come in here at this moment now. So then it means that thoughts or concerns that or opinions that they can now embark on their demonstration doesn't really hold. It means that they would still have to wait for that ruling from the Accra High Court before they are able to take their next step. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, in a way, that is what I'm trying to say, to the extent that at this moment we do not know exactly what exists that is going to be contested on the 14th. Oh. And I'm assuming that if there's something still persistent, then naturally it would have to be with the substantive case itself, i.e. the case as to whether or not the people indeed have the right to even protest, or whether or not they breach or there's a possibility of a potential breach of the Public Order Act, or things close to that area. Okay. I'm making that assumption on the basis that there will be no reason for them to go back to court if there was nothing in court for them to determine. And so if indeed there is something for them to determine, then clearly that has a possibility of affecting their chances of going ahead with the protest.
All right, Lawyer Justice Abdullahi, thanks so much for speaking to us on Newsnight. We have been engaging Lawyer Justice Abdullahi on matters relating to the Fix the Country protest. You're live on Newsnight on Metro Television, also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News. Now, let's bring you other stories. Now, still in relation to the Fix the Country campaign, Benjamin Darko is part of the conveners of the group, and he joins us via the phone line for a conversation on the back of this. Benjamin, now, you've heard Lawyer Justice Abdullahi. He says that you do not have the go-ahead to continue with your protest or start with your protest. What's your reaction to this? Hello. So we are trying to touch base with Benjamin. He is part of the conveners of the Fix the Country protest. We are trying to get what their thoughts are. What would be their next line of action so far as the verdict by the Supreme Court
when
is
somebody
concerned?
Joining me, the thing just goes off. Hello?
Hello, Benjamin. I was asking, what do you intend to do now following the verdict from the Supreme Court?
Hello?
Hello, Benjamin. I can hear you. Hello? All right, so we are having a problem establishing a better connection with... Okay, Benjamin, I'm asking...
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm asking, what do you intend to do now following that verdict from the Supreme Court? Hello, Benjamin. All right, we are having problems establishing a better connection with Benjamin. As at when we are able to do so, we'll definitely bring you that interaction. Now, two other stories. Severe pollution of the Botre River by Galamsey activities has left residents with a brown-colored water for their daily use, including drinking. They say they have no alternative to this contaminated river. Metro News' Harry Kasibadu visited some communities along the Botre River in the Western region and has filed this report.
The Botre River runs through the Ahanta West municipality as well as the Mpoho and the Wassa East district in the Western region. The river is the major source of water for residents of Ewusejo, Freti, Otopo, and other communities close by. Residents say the water was clean and clear before the river was taken over by Galamsey activities.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe 85 years ni na okwan potun sunma etumu de okwan sina wode sunmu ya ho nembu won sunmu okwan sunmu won de dam na mpu no dam buba hu enda din sunaye bibi basa entumu numu sunu.
Women and children in this community use the river water for all their domestic work. Despite the pollution from mining and washing in the river, residents drink this water without any treatment. Food vendors around here also source their water from the polluted river. Comfort Kwesi, who operates a small eatery, says she has no choice than to use the contaminated water to make food for sale.
I say, Nana, yes, so yeah, Eddie Bibiala. Any so baby, Papi away, Nina, I say, Nusinamba. It is your name, yes, Eddie Bibiala. Any so babyala. Glamse for so what you want, I see when you walk. Then you what walk a clear. Yes, I near the alarm near the atu. Near the
23-year-old Innocent Mochia is unemployed and lives with his parents here. He complains about side effects whenever he uses the water from the Butray River for bathing. He adds that he cannot afford to buy water.
It's because one thing, it may be and now, so on one anum. And now, this also, a Jumani Ghana had a make a crew, Ghana and a Jumania. You must have widen.
Residents here are pleading with authorities to clamp down Galamsey activities soon in order to save their source of water, the Butray River.
The Galamsey people have polluted the water. Because of that, you can't use it to cook and bath. Sometimes, when you bath and our stuff is engineered, so we want the Galamsey people to stop doing that, so that you can use it to cook and bath.
Henry Kwesi Bedu, Metro News, Ewusejo.
Very heartbreaking story over there. Now, Metro News is actually leading a campaign against Galamsey activities in the country. And at this point, I have been joined in studio by our reporter, Henry Kwesi Bedu. Earlier, you saw him file that report we just aired from Ewusejo. Henry, only you can better express how you felt when you saw those people, you know, drinking from that contaminated water. Now, tell us more about this campaign against Galamsey.
Sure. So this campaign is in line with the government's, renewed clampdown on illegal mining. So as part of it, we visited, myself together with the team, visited some 3 regions. We visited the central region, I think 4. We visited the central region, the western region, western north, and parts of the Ashanti region, where, mining is, they are mining, most of them are mining communities, but anywhere that there is mining in the country, there's also illegal mining attached to it. And we've seen at first hand the kind of damage that has been done to some major rivers in the country. If you recall, after government started Operation Hot, I think about 2 months ago, there were stories that came in that, for an example, River Ankobra has regained its normal state. We went to the River Ankobra, which looked like it was true because the water wasn't that polluted. But we've seen the Ofin River, we've seen the Pra River, we've seen River Butray for ourselves, and we're bringing viewers these stories. The extent of pollution when you get to a community like Praso, the extent of pollution that you see in this community. When you get to the Upper Dintra West, that is the municipality where the Major Mahama was killed. You could see the extent of damage that has been done to rivers like River Ofin and the other rivers. So that is what we'll put together and let our viewers know the extent of damage that has been done to these rivers. Is this Galamsey fight just a small screen, or we are hitting the nail right on the head and finding solutions? Of course, as I've said earlier, the rivers like River Ankobra have started to regain its natural form, but you can't say same with rivers like River Ofin, the Praso, River Butray, and other rivers in the western central and the Ashanti region, and also the western north region.
Now, I'm glad you talk about the fact that we're going to see more reports in relation to this. I mean, it would help take the campaign a bit further. Now, in all of this, what has been the response of the local authorities in some of the communities you visited so far?
So the local authorities say that Now the fight is in the hands of the central government.
Okay.
When they're also doing their bit, that is what they normally say, but they're also doing their bit, but the fight is now in the hands of the central government. When you talk about the Operation Halt, the fight against Galamsey, the burning of excavators that are started in some of the areas that you've seen. Okay. When we got there, I think it was on the weekend, some of the residents tell you that they see at first and the military men using their boats, they travel onto the river to go and burn some of the chamfine machines. We got to a municipal assembly where they've packed, more than 20 of these chamfine machines that were seized from the river Butray, as we say. But the river is here to regain its natural state. And this resident, as you see in the video, don't have potable water.
Okay.
That is the situation on the ground. That is the reality on the ground. They don't have potable water. So they don't have any option. Most of them, you saw the young man saying in the video that I don't have money, I don't work, so I can't afford to buy sachet water or bottled water to drink. The only option I have is to drink the river Butray. And for them, they feel and think that this river has been the only source of water that has been helping them since they were born. You could hear one of the women will tell you that, oh, this river, when I drink it, I feel relieved. And no matter whatever that has happened to the river, I don't mind the other consequences that are going to come after, or the health conditions that are going to come after I drink the water. They will just continue drinking it. So those are the situations on the ground. When you go onto the ground, polluted people drinking polluted river as a result of Galamsey activity. So we'll be bringing viewers further reports on this for them to ascertain for themselves what is actually happening in the central, western north, and also parts of the Ashanti region. We used the Obuasi and Taka area, so you could see the extent of damage, at first hand.
Now, Henry, when you talked to these people in these communities, what do they tell you? Are they willing to cooperate with government to clamp down on these illegal mining activities?
What they say, we went to a community, Gomwa Brofuyedu, where, if you recall, some 2 weeks ago, some 3 persons lost their life, and there were reports that over 40 of them were trapped under, the illegal mining pits that caved in or that collapsed in the community. What they say is that most of the Galamseyers are not from the communities where the illegal mining is being practiced. Most of these Galamseyers are residents of other communities. They just come into the communities to deplete their lands and also destroy their river bodies and just move on. That is what they say happened. So for them, together with their municipal, the chief executives and also some MPs, we spoke to member of parliament in there who are ready to help, government fight or clamp down on illegal mining. According to them, most of them are non-resident. They are not people who live in the community. So when they come, they just destroy the river bodies and also destroy the lands and just leave. They don't feel the impact, what this, pollution is having on the residents in there. So for them, most of them are willing to help government fight illegal mining in these communities.
All right, Henry, thanks so much for bringing us more on that report. And then we wait to see how the campaign against Galamsey has been championed by Metro News Mugu. But thanks so much for that report. We know we are yet to see more of such reports. Let's now speak to an environmentalist with Arocha Ghana 4. More on this on the back of that report we just said in the conversation we just had with Metro News' Henry Kwesi. Now, I'm sure you saw the report. If you can hear me, thanks so much for joining us on News Nights. Now, I'm sure you saw that report we just aired. What are your first impressions seeing the people drink from that contaminated water?
It's a very unfortunate incident, and I will say that it's not only in this particular area that you see this. Water is essential to life, and unfortunately, when it comes to mining activities, it is the first casualty. And actually, it is for this very reason that for a long time, a lot of us have been agitating that whatever we can do as clamp down on Galamsey must be done. At the moment, if you see this development, you see pollution, community people are drinking from it. I have to say that it's only the human people there who are going to suffer, also the implications of this, but also the species, the fishes that live in these rivers, which are also sources of food to a lot of the people who live in these areas. So clearly, we have failed as a country by not nibbling the Galamsey issues in the bud right when it reared its head. And for me, this is a big failure on the part of leadership to make sure that we address Galamsey right from the beginning. Now, what is happening here, it's also puts a dent on Ghana's commitment to achieving SDG 6, which looks at water services, quality water services, and sanitation. These people need to be given quality water services. At the moment, I think the ministry, the municipal assemblies involved should put in place a system to make sure that these communities are given some sort of supply of water, quality water, so that they do not drink from these rivers and streams. There is a lot of research, information, medical, scientific research that indicates that some of these rivers are really harboring a lot of heavy metals and are contaminated and not good for consumption. So I think we need to take a step and move quickly to avert a future catastrophe by making sure we give these people some potable and quality water services. We need to be distributing water to them so that they don't drink straight from the rivers and streams.
Okay, so beyond the negative impact it has on access to potable drinking water, to a larger extent, does it affect our environment as a whole?
Yes, already all the sites where Galamsey has happened, we already have challenges in dealing with the heavy metals that has been unleashed into the land. Our food, I would say our food network, food system now, we need to be very careful now. There needs to be a nationwide assessment of these sites and make sure that no one is also cropping on these degraded sites, because these sites now have high contamination, heavy metals, and we need to address that. Again, we can also talk about the impact of the mining on forest reserves, both in gazetted areas and also in off-reserve areas. And it's going to take Ghana a long while for us to reclaim and recover these areas to what they used to be. And I'm talking about recovering and restoring these areas to productive functions. At the moment, we can't use it even for crop production. So we need to wait a while. And these are the opportunity costs to all of us. And with us looking on the blind side and watching all of these activities to continue for this long. It's, for me, the greatest abuse we could have allowed these Galamsey operators to unleash on the people of Ghana.
All right, Darrell Bonsu, thanks so much for speaking to us on Newsnight. I have an engaging Deputy National Director of Arocha Ghana.
Now, residents at McCarthy Hills have raised concerns against an ongoing construction project by a Chinese-owned Empire Cement Factory over what they say is destroying the environment. My colleague at Original TV, Ohima Amponsa, has been following this report.
Standing currently at Weda Junction, and right behind me is the ongoing construction of a cement factory owned by Empire Cement, and it has a partnership with a Ghanaian who is into construction. As it stands now, some residents have raised an alarm at the sighting of the cement factory. To them, it poses a threat to the lives of the people and then the livelihoods of the people working at the Pambro salt mining.
We've been producing salt here since 1958. Sometime last year, we saw some activity to the northwestern part of our concession. We saw some developments going on. Initially, we didn't know what it was until we saw a banner posted that a cement factory was being sited at that particular location. What surprised us most was that, first of all, for any such project to take place, there should be a scoping notice published in the dailies. And the scoping notice will give information as to what is going to take place, and it will also give an indication as to the impact it will have on the environment and so on. It will also give those who live close to the proposed project area to, as it were, bring up their concerns Okay, there was no such publication.
Cement factory there, a powder no. Powder no basi pa mamis, e mo e tembia no. E beko we so a inside. Into no a bit ma infect.
Industry eba no, cement no, eni ni nchine machi. Na see you be yes and them say you ma me no. Like a very close because ye nchine ya ton ama nipa akoye edi. Yes nchine obi antobium, nchine ko West Africa all over and yes obi wan say nchine ye no cement wo obi antobium yes ye adwuma ye no e be say ye scan fan share ebusa. The factory number but it can go to any other place that because nchine cement they are not friendly at all. No.
You're still watching Newsnight live on Metro TV. We'll take a fast commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Waste management giant Zoomlion Ghana Limited has commissioned 500 new technologically powered compact trucks and other waste collectors equipment to fight against filth in Ghana. Speaking at the ceremony in Accra, President Akufo-Addo commended Zoomlion Ghana Limited for these accomplishments.
Over the years, Zoomlion Ghana Limited has been at the forefront of supporting government's effort in managing waste in the country. In 2006, the company provided over 2,000 motorized tricycles, 5,000 waste compactor trucks, and more than 500 skip containers to aid in the collection of waste in the country. It was therefore a landmark achievement for the waste management sector when Zoomlion Ghana Limited commissioned 500 new technologically powered compact trucks to help manage waste in the country. Dr. Joseph Siaun Ejapon is the executive chairman of the Jospon Group of companies.
We, Jospon Group and Zoomlion, Coniwas and ESPA, and other waste management companies and other institutions in the waste management sector give credence to the conducive business environment that has been created by your government to ensure that there is growth in the sector. We are here today to unveil the 100 state-of-art compactor trucks and some disinfection equipment which constitute part of the total 500 trucks expected to arrive in Ghana. And I humbly want to put on record that by 18th June, we will receive 50 of them. By July ending, we'll receive 98 trucks. And then by October to November, we'll receive the remaining 200 trucks. These trucks are very modern, and we engage the Ghana Armed Forces Training School to train drivers for defensive driving. 50 of these drivers are women.
Commissioning the fleet of trucks was President Nana Akufo-Addo. He commended the Jospon Group for the effort in keeping Ghana clean. He said his government would continue to create an enabling environment to encourage more private sector players to join the fight against poor sanitation.
These are the first batch of 500 trucks that are being procured to assist in the sector. I would therefore reiterate my invitation for more private sector companies to collaborate with government in creating business opportunities in the waste management space.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte, who pledged his support to Zoomlion, revealed that the Regional Coordinating Council would soon launch Operation Clean Your Frontage to ensure residents living in the capital city keep their environment clean.
We will continue to partner Zoomlion to provide quality service to our communities, especially within the Greater Accra region. With the collaboration of the Regional Coordinating Council in the Greater Accra, very soon the assemblies will be supported and pass the bylaw which we'll call Operation Clean Your Frontage. Everybody will be responsible for their frontage.
Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the Jospon Group of Companies, Sophia Kujoji Lisa, explained how the newly introduced technological compact truck works.
These trucks are going to help us to improve the efficiency of collection of waste. It's going to help us a lot because that has been one of the challenges. We do a lot, we work a lot, we do a lot of waste collection, but every now and then trucks are broken down and all that. This fleet is going to help to augment the fleet that we have, and it's also going to help to improve the efficiency of collection because of the technology that is using now.
Welcome to my world of business here on News 9. My name is Winston Taki. I will bring you an update on the commodity market as well as the forex rate onwards. Stay tuned. All right, now let's go to our first story. The 2021 Consumer Confidence Survey by the Institute of Economic Affairs has revealed that Ghana's economic situation has worsened in the past 6 months. The survey, which was conducted from March to April 2021, however, states that majority of people are optimistic that the economic situation will improve.
Consumer Confidence Survey was conducted from March to April 2021. It solicited responses from about 250 Ghanaians in the Accra Tema metropolis. Director of Research at IEA, Dr. John Kwache, has been speaking on the findings of the report.
The past financial situation of households, a high percentage of females experience a worsening. They said we experience worsening of the financial situation of our households compared to males. Then when you talk about future financial situation of households, again, a large majority were optimistic going forward. Males are more optimistic. The youth are also more optimistic than the elderly.
Participating in the discussion of the report is Ralph Amma, a research fellow at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE.
For example, they ask yes or no questions, and then we do not know what follows, right? There isn't much of probing, right? So, for example, if they can add a qualitative dimension to the data that they already have, that would help. If they could conduct some key informant interviews and let us, those can actually, go a long way to explain some of the figures that we are seeing from what they have. Then it will give them a more solid ground to make a case for some of the figures that they are having.
The survey covered consumer-related issues, including household economic situation, the state of the economy, and future prospects.
Now moving on to the House of Parliament, Bright Reku Brobe, Deputy Minister Designate for Employment and Labour Relations, has touted the ministry's stable relation with stakeholders and labour unions to the fact that the ministry made it a priority to listen to the demands or contributions in order to arrive at an amicable agreement with all parties involved. He said this when he came before the Parliament Appointment Committee earlier today.
It is a fact, as you allude, that we are experiencing relatively stable environment regarding the labor front. And like you rightly said, it doesn't come just like that. My minister has put in place measures in the ministry. He has always said that we give voice to every Ghanaian labor. And therefore, any group of people that bring their matter to us, or we even get intelligence from either the national security outfit or any other source, he quickly deploys us to try to find out what the situation is. In some cases, some of these groups want some clarifications. In some cases, they just want some attention of a sort for their issues to be addressed. And once we bring them onto the table, we are able to resolve all these matters. So I also give a lot of thanks to the labor unions, because without them, we could not have achieved what we are witnessing now. And for me, I think it's largely because of the respect that we have shown every member of labor in Ghana, and that has been the trick, I think, in the ministry.
Now let's bring you update from the interbank market on how the cedi is faring against major currency as well as the price of commodities on the global market. All right, that'll be it for business here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Taki. Back to Efia and Ken for the rest of the news.
Thanks for bringing us business updates. You go for a break and return shortly with the latest in sports. Do stay.
Welcome back. Now, Phil John Korte is standing by for the latest in sports. Hello, Phil. What's up in sports?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, so much to talk about. The Black Stars are engaging the Moroccans in faraway Rabat. We'll bring you updates. Plus, the European Championship, a certain fulfilled is believing that the Three Lions can grab the trophy. Up next, we bring you sports. Welcome back. My name is Phil John Korte. The Black Stars of Ghana are engaging the Moroccan counterpart in an international friendly in Rabat. 43 minutes played is still goalless. The Ghanaians are parading the lives of Andre Dede Ayew, Jordan Ayew is in the fold. Amate is also in the defensive setup, and the goalkeeper is Razak Abaola, with the gentleman known as Mohamed Kudus dominating the midfield. But for now, 44 minutes played in faraway Rabat. It's 1-1 Ghana versus Morocco. Let's now focus on the Ghana Premier League. And after losing in the Nzema Derby, Karela are poised to qualify for the top four in the Ghana Premier League. They are led by Ivan Sadote.
Despite losing their matchday 28 fixture to regional rivals Midyama in the Nzema Derby on Saturday, Karela United head coach Evans Adote says his side are not giving up on their top four hopes in the ongoing 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League. An 85th minute header by Midyama's central defender Vincent Atinga was enough to send the Enyinasi-based club back to their Crosby Ewa Memorial Park empty-handed. The defeat means Karela United drops to the 6th position on the league log with 43 points, 2 points adrift of 4th placed side Great Olympics with 6 matches remaining to fix the current campaign.
We are on course. We are not down at all. Okay. We only need to go back and make sure we also take the 3 points away from Legon Cities.
Karela United will welcome Legon Cities FC to the Crosby Ewa Memorial Park on Sunday, June 13 for match day 29, with the hope of annexing all 3 points to put them on course for that top 4 finish ambition of the Ghana Premier League.
Let's now focus on the European Championship that will start on Friday with Turkey playing Italy in the Open match. But England, the Three Lions, are looking forward to turn the tide. Remember that the last time they won an international tournament was in 1966 when they won the World Cup. And the people of the United Kingdom are looking for it, especially the English are looking forward to it. Phil Foden, who is a player for Manchester City, believes that the Three Lions have the men to do the job.
No, I feel sorry for Gareth trying to pick 11. Whoever he leaves out is going to be top quality players that are going to be on the bench. So whatever he does, I think the lads are going to be behind him and just believe in him. first of all, I just want to say the quality is very high. Yeah, we have got a lot of young players, but they can play at the highest level, and we're seeing that this year. So, yeah, of course, we've still got the experience, you know, like Harry Kane and Jordan Henderson around the team as well, which is important. So, yeah, I think we have a great balance in the squad, and yeah, I think that we'll look really strong this tournament, and why not? We could win it.
Phil Foden is a player for the English national team as they prepare to take on Croatia in their opening match of the European Championship. Let's go to Paris now and bring the latest in the French Open, where American international, or sensational, I have to say so, in the person of Coco Gauff, Novak Djokovic, who is the defending world #1 champion, and Rafael Nadal have all through to the last 8 of the competition.
It means a lot to me, especially I've lost in the 4th round a couple times, so it feels good to get over that hurdle. And today I played probably my best match so far in the tournament. She's obviously been having a great clay season, and she's a tough opponent. I think that she's a really smart player, and she's been on tour for some time, and she, you know, is one of those players, I guess, an all-court player.
I even liked the fact that I lost first couple of sets, because I don't know, I just played under a certain kind of tension.
We are all waiting for that showdown involving Novak Djokovic, the Serbian. We're playing probably lastly against Rafael Nadal, who has won the French Open for the last 13 times in the competition. My name is Phil John Kwasi. That's your sports. Back to Ifia and Ken for the rest of the news.
Phil, all the best to our Black Stars in Morocco. Right. We know a goal is definitely going to come through.
We wish them well.
Certainly. Phil, thanks so much for the sports update. We go for a break and return shortly with the latest in entertainment. Do stay. You're welcome back. This is Newsnight on Metro Television. It's now time for entertainment, and the man with all the updates joins us now. Hello, what's happening in entertainment?
Hi, if you are in entertainment today, we're talking about the man Castro. Okay. It's almost been 7 years since he disappeared. Okay. Next month, he will be declared officially dead. Yes, we'll get to talk about that. So it's time for entertainment here on Newsnight. My name is Desmond Okrekudanso. Well, it's been 7 years after the disappearance of the musician Theophilus Tego, known as Castro the Destroyer, while on vacation with the Jan brothers. And next month, he will be officially declared dead.
The legendary musician, together with the video vixen Janet Bandu, disappeared on the 6th of July 2014 at the Adar Beach. It was reported that the two, while on holiday with the Jan brothers, went for a jet ski trip to the Adar Beach Resort and estuary when they went missing. Multiple search parties were sent to the beach and deep seas to recover the body of Castro and video vixen Janet Bandu, but all proved futile. Since the disappearance, many people have reported cases of seeing him at several locations across Africa, notably Togo, Nigeria, and South Africa. His fans, however, do not believe their superstar is dead and have long hoped for his return. The Evidence Acts of Ghana, 1975, Section 3 states that a person can only be declared legally dead after 7 years by a court where the person in question has not been seen or heard from in 7 years, despite diligent and persistent efforts to find him. It is now imperative of a court to legally declare the two dead as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. This means they both will be declared dead after 7th July 2021.
Well, a month more, and we're praying that Castro, wherever he is, he will come back for us. Now, let's talk about the BETs, because more than 18,000 Tanzanians have signed an online petition that the BET should disqualify Diamond Platnumz from this year's event. And they say that Diamond hasn't demonstrated as a character who helps people in the society with respect to his affiliation to former President Magufuli. joy that Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, welcomed their daughter Lilibet Lily Diana Mountbatten-Windsor to the world, read a statement from the couple. Both mother and child are healthy and well and settling in at home, the statement continued. The name is a nod to both the baby's paternal grandmother, the late Princess Diana, and paternal great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, who went by the childhood nickname Lilibet among her close family members. Lily is named after her great-grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen, whose family nickname is Lilibet. Her middle name, Diana, was chosen to honor her beloved late grandmother, the Princess of Wales. This is the second child for the couple, who also have a 2-year-old son named Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor. And we do apologize for that. Of course, we're happy that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have a newborn baby. Back to you, Efia.
You know, the question about if Castro has really passed still lingers, and we are hoping to find answers someday. But thanks so much for bringing us entertainment update. We're now bringing news across our borders. On the international front, French President Emmanuel Macron was slapped in the face on Tuesday by a man in a crowd of onlookers during a visit to a southern town in France. Now, video of the incident has since gone viral on social media.
Macron's security entourage quickly intervened in the pool and pulled the man outside. 2 people were arrested in connection with the incident. Broadcasters BFM TV and RMC Radio, French Prime Minister Jean Castex has said the incident is unfortunate.
Bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur. Oh! Vas-y, casse-toi de là. Enculé. Oui, je vais à courir carrément. Bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur.
All right, that's all time with the love of this edition of News Night on Metro Television. We came to you from there. Ikia Brahima City here at North Region Accra. My name is Ifia Fuswa.
And I'm Kenneth Jesse. Have a good night.